Hello, everyone. I have another subject to discuss and talk about and throw out. And when I put these thoughts together and share them with you, I'm presenting them as a possibility. Now, anytime I express something that is from my perspective or within my belief structure associated with me, it exists for you only as a possibility. But I present it because if it resonates, if it vibrates, if it seems to hit home, it's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense for me. Then if you adapt it and you say, this is what I believe to be so also, then it becomes your truth. And that's why I share this, is to encourage you to hear that what anybody says isn't truth. It's only a possibility. I don't care who they are. I don't care in what position they exist, whether it be a professor or whether it be a minister or whether it be a legislative person or a president or your mother or your father, sister, brother. It doesn't make a difference. It's just a matter of it's a possibility. So then the question is how does it fit? How does it work? How does it sound to you? So today I'm going to talk about uh, duality and also about diametrically opposing energies. So let me start first with duality. First of all, duality is an experience. Every time you experience up, you hold the potential to experience down. Those are two energies that are dualistic in their nature. And when they are diametrically opposing, then that is what you experience when you go one way and it wants to pull you the other way. So if you consider it like this, I have the ability to experience a duality of rising or falling, but it's the diametrically opposing energies that creates it from a scientific standpoint. So like the pendulum swings. And as the pendulum swings, the diametrically opposing energy has a scientific reason to affect the return. So for one motion, there is an equal motion in the other direction. These are diametrically opposing energies. So when there's right and wrong, they are diametrically opposing each other. When there is good and bad, light and dark, sinful and non-sinful, these are essentially diametrically opposing energies. It doesn't mean that they really exist, but it does mean that sometimes people just feel like they exist. So when someone says, well, there is a such thing as sin, there is an opposite energy that's like, well, you're not supposed to sin. But those are essentially diametrically opposing, where this one gets you in trouble and this one supposedly doesn't. But the duality is when you experience both of them simultaneously because you're in the center. So when the pendulum swings both ways, when it goes through the center, that's where the duality is experienced. That's the present moment. That's where you experience duality of the potential of that and the potential of that. When you experience diametrically opposing energies, it's because this experience has been created and the reverse experience is going to pull it in the other direction. So many will say that, well, light is good and dark is bad. But in many ways, they are the same energy. Because why? Because one diametrically opposes the other. If you say light is good and darkness is a banana, they don't diametrically oppose each other. It's the perception of what dark is, and it's the perception of what white or light is. It's the perception of that which is black and dark. It is how we feel and sense and look at everything from the center point. That's where we experience everything. The past and the future. It's both a duality and diametrically opposing energies, because the past, when it pulls on you, which I oftentimes refer to as a previous moment, because that previous moment wants to come back and haunt you and haunts many people. So the past haunts many. The future presents a possibility, but it also creates fear. So the energies that oppose each other are in the concept duality. You're not in the past and you're not in the future. You're in the present moment. But they are dualistic energies. And you experience that the diametrically opposing energy of the two, where one pulls on you and the other invites you. There's nothing about what choice you make that matters. Not in the long run. It affects you in the present moment. But sometimes in the present moment, which is a future present moment, you're going to look back and you say, that choice I thought was, as I considered it to be a mistake, wasn't really a mistake. Actually turned out quite well. But when you evaluated it, in that moment you made it and the end result that you experienced at that point, it's like, that was a mistake. But sometimes from that which we perceive to be a mistake, a diametrically opposite result is realized in a future moment. And the mistake that you thought you made associated with the past, that goes away and melts away because, wow, it really turned out okay after all. Because it's all about perception. It's all about knowing and believing that these opportunities to experience both the duality and diametrically opposing energies is inviting you to evaluate and look at and determine in the present moment what holds the grandest value for you. Many people are attempting to prepare and live so much in the future that they lose the opportunity to be in the present moment. And then when they get into the future and they've reached that point, it's like, yes, this is what I was looking for. And then they look back at what they missed in order to focus on that future point, that future situation, that future whatever. They look back and they say, wow, I'm not sure if it was worth it, because look at what I missed. So being in the present moment is always encouraging you to look and see, where am I? Am I struggling with the past and does that hold me? Am I looking too much into the future and that pulls me? Or am I in the present moment and that allows me and invites me to look within and determine what holds the grandest value for me? The duality and the diametrically opposing energies are simply an experience. There was once the experience of singularity. There has been the experience of duality, and there has been an experience of triality. The singularity is the easiest. The triality is the most balanced, but the duality is the more difficult experience. That's why we see the struggles, because it's like standing on 2 feet. Our feet represent the base that we have. But we, even as children, we're trying to find this balance as we're growing up and little. It's like, whoa, I just fell down. Whoa, somebody's pushed me around. They pushed me down. We're in a situation within the duality that we don't hold a core strength of singularity or a core strength of triality, which is a three-sided base, which means you're not as affected by things. So the duality experience and experiment is much about what we are experiencing and how it creates challenges for us in ways that we haven't recognized, or maybe you haven't recognized. Because you see, in the singularity, there is only that one choice. And if you don't know another choice, if there isn't one, there's no struggle. It just is what it is. In the triality, there's three choices. But oftentimes, two of the legs will align and hold a connection, and one will be disconnected, while the two will hold the balance for the one. It's difficult to explain how that happens within an experience for whoever and whatever and however that is experienced from a consciousness standpoint, from a physical standpoint. But the duality is the most difficult to exist in. It is the most difficult to stand on your own 2 feet. Isn't that something we've heard before? So, my friends, I'm suggesting to you that if there's struggles and challenges that you have in your life, know and understand that these challenges and struggles are associated with the duality, and the diametrically opposing energies being pulled in two different directions. And that's why humanity is also fighting each other and disagreeing so vibrantly and so emphatically with each other. It's just because these two energies of Satan and God are diametrically opposing energies, but they're the same energy. God and Satan are the same energy. Because why? Isn't there a story about Satan, the devil, fell out of graces in connection to God? It's a metaphor for the duality. God and Satan are the same. So when one says, "Oh, I've been praying to God, but things have not been working out," well, if that's the case, maybe it's the dark side of that energy that has an effect. And then other times, it's the lighter side, but they're still one not choosing to influence and affect what takes place for you, then allows the other one to choose. So is the one that you believe God then ignoring you so that you can experience the other diametrically opposing energy to determine which one you will give power to? This is just a dynamic I can't even begin to explain fully in all the ways that you experience, but just know, my friends, and this is from my perspective, and you don't have to believe any of this, but everything you're experiencing is just an experience within the duality, diametrically opposing experiment. Yes, it's an experiment to discover how energy works in connection to other energy when there's only one choice or the other. So, I'm just saying, move on. Because you never know what you're going to miss out on, and stop beating yourself up. instead of waiting for the universe to choose for you, instead of waiting and giving some entity or energy out there the opportunity to choose for you, you choose. Be true to yourself, my friends. Be true to yourself. Pay attention to your intuitive nature. Invite it to come forward and allow your own perspective to be your truth. And consider the perspective of any other, including me and every other, as a possibility. Because when you embrace it, it's no longer another's truth, it becomes your truth. So, had a great time with this one as well. Take care, all. Love you. See you soon. Bye.